Do you know why Patrice O'Neal was feared by everyone?
I'm gonna fix the cop.
Why is Bilbo Baggins continue to insult me here? Somebody tell John C. Reilly to shut his face. Yeah, right.
Patrice brutally destroyed interviewers, crowd members, guests, and even his fellow comedians throughout his career to the point where everyone was scared of him.
Like they're aggressively like that, but it's like Patrice O'Neal was probably like the best at it.
Because no matter what he said, everybody knew that he was better than him.
This video will show you exactly why everybody feared Patrice O'Neal and reveal how his legacy is still alive and stronger than ever today.
I mean, you gotta give a big hand for these nervous idiots there first.
They're not nervous. Hey, you guys.
A 2, a 1, 2, 3. Hey, boy, jackass.
Patrice set himself apart from ordinary comics because he had one of the most distinct approaches when it came to dealing with his fans.
Everybody's in suits and everything, and white ladies sitting like this. This is loosen the fuck out. What's wrong with you, man? Pussy with guy in the kid just there's nothing worse. Suits and ties, it stinks. What's going on?
He was well known for dedicating large parts of his sets to picking on a few unlucky crowd members to create punchlines for his jokes.
You can't tell black people what to do no more, motherfucker. Did you know that? Did anybody inform you, jackass? What a dick. No, move along, son. Can you type a middle finger at him? Tell him to loosen up, Gabe Kaplan. Stand up, let him see you. Yes. Well, what does he look like? That's right, Einstein. That's right. That's what people say. He's so proud. He really thinks he's as smart as him and everything, doesn't he? Did I say Arabs are the new niggas? Yes, I did. I repeat myself, you moaning motherfuckers. I repeat it.
At times, even the people who were meant to support his act got caught up in Patrice's raw approach.
Hey, don't do the thing.
You're a real jackass, buddy.
He filled it. Oh, he typed it. You stupid. Listen. Follow the shit, man. Stop trying to be Mr. Stenographer. Gay guy. That's a woman's job, pussy.
In an appearance on Tough Crowd, when an audience member was innocently watching the show, they unluckily caught Patrice's eye.
Exciting video. It sounds a little harsh at first.
You see that? You see that white girl right there in the middle with the red? She has no clue what's going on.
Wait.
All she wants to do is lift up her skirt for Snoop Dogg.
This is the first reason Patrice was feared. He was an unapologetic comedian who loved to make others feel very uncomfortable. This was his philosophy. O'Neal believed that stand-up, if it was any good, had to take prisoners, that it was always at someone's expense. And if anybody was going to be uncomfortable, it wasn't going to be him. His ability to pick anyone and embarrass them in an instant made him both feared and respected by all the people he came across. From the words of the man himself, "I love making motherfuckers uncomfortable." Now, most people who can dish out insults cannot take them. Patrice, on the other hand, may be even better at taking insults and responding to them than he is at dishing them out initially.
Hello. Patrice, you're full of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know that?
Yeah.
I hate to tell you something. There are men, like Anthony said just a little bit ago, that do love each other with women and are very kind, because my husband happens to be that way.
Patrice seems quite calm for someone who just got called out by a woman live on air, but he was simply waiting for the perfect moment to strike back.
And that's why you're such the pleasant animal you are now. You're just so lovely and just like that. And you know what? The comfort zone you have in talking to me like that, imagine the comfort zone you have with your fucking husband. He does not like you.
And of course, once Patrice got started, there was no stopping him.
He gives you things, out of obligation, asshole. That's what he does. Yes. You couldn't. All right, make me like you right now. Be likable.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're so full of bullshit.
Make a sexy voice, the voice you use for your husband when you're turning him on.
When I'm turning him
Exactly. Repeat the question, because you don't have an answer. You just go, fuck me, love me, feed me. That's what you do.
Patrice made sure this woman would feel like calling him out was the worst mistake of her life.
you would understand that the power that you have is the power I let you have.
All right, give Janet a second. Go ahead, Janet.
No. Hey, I happen to be 31, so is my husband, and he doesn't let me talk. We talk because we enjoy each other, and that's the way it should be.
Really? Is that why? When is he on the phone? Is your husband on the phone? Where's he at?
No, my husband's a truck driver.
Exactly. Wonderful job for a woman like you. That motherfucker's on the road 7.5 days out of 6 just to get the fuck away from you.
You are so fucking full of bullshit because he's not going 7 days a week. My husband comes
days out of 6.
No,
that is brilliant.
No.
He would rather see the weigh-in station than to see you and your fucking annoyingness.
His great ability to counteract confrontation was also displayed when he got insulted on Tough Crowd.
I have a sitcom for Patrice O'Neal. Nice. Patrice wanders the Old West fighting crime, a la David Carradine in Kung Fu, but he calls it "What up, fool?" Okay? You gonna finish your cornbread?
Now, whilst Patrice may look unbothered, in his mind he's just plotting how he will destroy this guy.
Oh boy, it's a great reality show starring Ralphie called "Having Trouble Standing," starring Ralphie May and his co-star, that thing in the front of his sweatpants.
He knew he got under the fat guy's skin, so he activated his contagious laugh to crush the poor guy's soul.
You got some balls to make fat jokes. You got the balls to make fat jokes. You fat bastard.
Another time Patrice showed his ability to reverse confrontation was when a female heckler tried to ruin his performance.
Anything I said is like, yeah, whatever. And I look at
all loud.
Yeah, all drunk and loud. And I look at this guy and I go, let me show you something about women. And I say, look, she's not going to be able to talk unless I continue to talk myself. She has nothing to say. So I sat there and she had nothing to say. She went, you're just stupid and you're going to bother my friend. So I just looked at her and she finally shut up. So when I talked, then she talked again and then it was on.
After constant interrupting, Patrice had to humble this female.
So I would have to constantly berate him and berate her through him. I like kept calling her it. Does it belong to you? and calling her man swears, you know what I mean? And
oh, guys don't like hearing that.
Yeah, I just called him man. And he said, I didn't come here to watch you insult my wife. I said, so tell her to shut up so I don't have to insult her no more.
Is everyone applauding as you're saying this?
It was
retarded.
Must have been.
And is that what that dummy did? He sided with her even though she was running her mouth.
Even though she was wrong, yeah.
Patrice ended up having to destroy her husband, too, as he began disrupting the performance.
So he stood up, and then he started calling me names and everything. And then he called me a bitch, and then said,
Did he go for the,
Go for the what?
The racial angle.
No, he was scared to do that. I think he did that outside. I heard he was calling me all kind of N-words, but not using N-word, the actual...
Sure.
Authentic one. Yeah. So, but he goes, come outside. And I go, I already know you can't even control your wife. You're not going to be able to control me. And then what's the matter with your fists right now? They get better outside? Get out. And the crowd starts singing, nah, 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 nah.
It's intimidating knowing that if you confront Patrice, he will come back at you so hard, you will regret challenging him in the first place and leave knowing you can't defend him. But when you combine all of this with being 6'4", over 200 pounds, and from the hood of Boston, with this last trait, which Patrice had more than anyone else, you get a scary comic that is feared by everyone. Patrice destroying this heckler perfectly demonstrated that. Dante Nero, who sometimes opened for him, recalled one college gig when a young woman yelled, "Say something funny!" during one of Patrice's philosophical disquisitions. You didn't hear anyone else laughing? O'Neal began. Is it because you weren't laughing? You the type of person who wants everyone to be miserable if you're miserable? Then he turns to her friends. Why do you hang out with her? The girl stood up to leave, demanding her boyfriend join her, but he sat there, frozen, and O'Neal zeroed in on him as an ally. If you stay, it'll be over, O'Neal said encouragingly. Ride it out. The audience started to weigh in. The girl began to cry. This story shows that Patrice is willing to cross any line. Where most would stop, Patrice continued to roast this girl and address her boyfriend and her friends, not stopping until she left with tears. And this was also shown earlier in his career when he destroyed a female comic at the Comedy Cellar. A journalist reported that he had reduced Lisa Lampanelli, an insult comic, to tears, due to him constantly trashing her.
And then when he died, they called me, the New York Magazine or something, and they were like, you know, can you give us a quote? And I go, well, I'm not going to pretend to like him now that he's dead. I mean, he was an asshole.
These stories show just how brutal Patrice could be because he simply never gave a fuck.
Yeah, he had the most don't give a fuck of any
100%.
comic I ever met. Like
100%.
the most.
100%.
Going against Patrice was always a dangerous game because, like someone with nothing to lose, he saw no issue with saying the most outrageous things to push your buttons. Patrice built up his reputation as a comedian by truly not giving a fuck. And that was what made him great. Patrice was able to showcase all his intimidating traits on TV many times whenever he appeared as a guest. But 2 main shows cemented his legacy as the scariest comedian ever. The first show shaped how the world would view Patrice, as this was the beginning of his appearances as a regular TV show guest.
Even with our own damage, we do it. We'll still do it.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if
but
it
that's called
destroys
self-loathing.
things that
That's
we work
That's
on.
not self-loathing.
It's not self-loathing.
See, that's that
It is.
vaginal. You're insane. Just take it. Nobody. That's the vagina. That's the vagina driving you insane. And listen, one day you'll learn how to not be. Take your vagina, put it over here, and take who you are and put it over there.
Okay,
instead of forcing
Okay.
us to like all of you when you could be a loser and I just want to sleep with you, but I don't want the other part that don't make no sense. So stop this good cop, bad cop. Jesus, what do you think these are white tricks we don't know? Good cop, bad cop? You little raggedy mushroom face asshole. You didn't catch that? Whoa, that went over our head. Ah, Norton, shove it up your ass.
Patrice was notorious for offending everyone on Tough Crowd.
There's nothing worse than an out of shape, in shape white guy.
It's like he couldn't help himself at times. Whenever he would discuss normal subjects, insults would just slip out of him.
Ken Over should be allowed to carry a gun for security against Matt Lauer's attempt to have him murdered so he can be the only one in show business with that awful haircut. It looks like something that you use to start a fire when you're stuck on a desert island.
Can I just say something too? He was a little angry also because a life-size doll of her is bigger than him. He's smaller than the Olsen twins.
He used his bold bully persona with his great social awareness to add a layer of depth to his roasts that got increasingly better over time.
First of all, y'all are the most removed from prison. A giant lesbian, she ain't never going to jail. White Puerto Rican, and a Mick with his own TV show. I'm still going to go to jail if you're on TV.
So when he says these black things, he thinks that all white people know about community day rooms, and you don't. So he's a man in purgatory. Black people don't like him, and white people don't understand him. He don't know where he's going.
Patrice was renowned among comedians for possessing arguably the best roasting skills in the game.
I gotta look at the bottom line and say, this isn't gonna work for my profit margin.
Shouldn't he be crawling out of a Lucky Charms bar? All right, hush, okay? Oh boy. Wait a minute, I'll shut him up. Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead. You don't handle the beautiful people, we'll be here. You'll be right back.
Even when it came to people with authority, Patrice wouldn't hold back.
I want you to change. I want you to walk over to Rich Corson, our executive producer, right now and say, hey, thanks for having me on the show. Common courtesy.
Hey, what's up, Rich? Hey, and thanks for being the only guy in show business with a goatee. That's real original. Ugh. He sucks too. What?
Tough Crowd ran from 2002 to 2004 and was a raw, unscripted show where a panel of comedians debated topics. As you might have guessed, this was the perfect environment for Patrice's unfiltered approach. Each week, he would stamp his authority on the Tough Crowd panel and establish a level between himself and other established comics. It was these appearances that cemented his reputation as the scariest comedian of all time. Lastly is one of the greatest roasts ever recorded on live television, which perfectly shows why Patrice was so feared.
As Steve-O, this new subdued, not drunk you, it fucking stinks, man. Ride that whole Steve-O shit till the wheels come off, man. Let a fucking leech bite your eyeballs and do some goofy shit. Even your fake puncher, you disturb me with your lack of edge. You just like...
The Charlie Sheen roast was aired in September 2011. and Patrice came on the show as a personal favor to Charlie Sheen. He was the last to go up, and everyone highly anticipated his set. And he didn't let anyone down.
He reminds me of a medieval restaurant waiter. Like, his whole demeanor, like, hello, may I welcome to... And you just want to go, shut the fuck up and bring me my giant turkey leg, you fucking nothing.
Patrice was just talking with brutal honesty the whole time. He showed that when it came to roasting, he was a cut above the rest. It was so memorable that it's still discussed to this day.
He just tortured everybody else that was on the roast with him.
And then he got up there and afterwards
you motherfuckers aren't on my level.
Yeah.
You talking shit about me? Why am I here?
I shouldn't even be here with you guys. Who the fuck is this bitch? Who is this bitch? He pointed to her.
Today, he is remembered as the fearless comedian who scared everyone he came across. And his comic friends remember and appreciate this much better than you and I.
Patrice beat down Eddie F so bad. No one else could say it. He called him Eddie Ugh. He beat him down for 45 minutes.
One of the funniest lines he ever had, Eddie was going back and forth, and Eddie's like, I do a lot of colleges. And Patrice said, yeah, you do PU because you stink.
It made us tough. And it made us more comfortable. There was nothing that you could say to any of us that would bother us.
Fortunately for Patrice, the success of his friends has made sure his name will live on forever. And his recent Comedy Central documentary is a testament to that. Also, thanks to platforms like YouTube, entire channels and videos like this can be made in his honor, ensuring his legacy continues to grow, and he goes down in comedy as the scariest comic there ever was. But we also have other great stories of comedians who have left a mark on comedy like no one else. So, click here to watch.